Welcome to another day here at Cedar Point, America's rock and roller coast. Today's gonna start off just like yesterday with the early entry, and I think we're gonna do a similar plan. So Maverick and Steel Vengeance to start. It seems like everyone is ready to ride Maverick. Look how long the line is already, and the ride hasn't even opened yet. Going to get a locker by Steel Vengeance because I'm not exactly sure what the policy is by Maverick, and we're gonna be heading here right after. But I'll tell you my thoughts after we get off both Maverick and Steel Vengeance again. All right, a lot of time has passed, and what happened was Maverick, which is actually now open, was down when we went by, so we ran all the way to Millennium Force to do that. Now, Millennium Force I actually rode last night and first ride this morning, and I really enjoy it. I think when it comes to Millennium Force, there are definitely forces that I'm feeling, especially today's ride, which is in the back row. That first turnaround, I actually grayed out a little bit. So it's definitely a great ride experience, and I think it's really close between Millennium Force and Steel Vengeance. But then we came back here and got in line at about 9:45. The line was actually much longer than it was yesterday, and the ride didn't open until about 10:23 because there are some delays. I'm not sure what exactly it was for, but it made the wait a lot longer. So right now it's 11:42, and I've only done 2 rides so far, and I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do next. But I think we're gonna head towards the front. All right, so I just had lunch at Hugo's Italian Kitchen. Again, I think one of the things that Cedar Point can really improve is the food here, because that was just kind of like some bland, non-inspiring Italian food. But one of the more exciting things that I just saw is that a train was sent on Top Thrill Dragster. Oh, and there goes another one. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not. So yeah, I'm gonna be heading in that direction. See if Top Thrill Dragster is open. If not, I'll probably do Corkscrew, just like the Raptors Corkscrew, and get that credit as well. Oh my goodness. So I was able to get on Top Thrill Dragster after a really long wait. I think it was almost an hour and a half. And I think for most of that time it was broken down. So this was a tough wait. It was very hot inside that queue, very packed, but I was able to get my one ride on it, and yes, it is definitely better than Ka. I was sat in the back and you could just feel how smooth it was. So even though this park has a tough time keeping it running all the time, The ride runs great. Now, one of the best parts about Top Thrill Dragster is these bleachers. See, King Ka is hidden in the trees and you can't really see the launch. But here at Cedar Point, they embrace it. The past 2 days, Corkscrew has had an insanely long line, up to 2 hours, but it's at 15 minutes. So now it's time to get on what is probably the worst credit here. I think part of the reason that this line isn't that long is because they're actually running 2 trains today. Good job, Cedar Point, on making an arrow efficient. Okay, so I just got off the Corkscrew, and it was smoother than I thought it was gonna be, which is good, but the ride's just kind of stupid. So we're gonna do something else. I think Magnum has a short wait, so let's do that one again. Let's see if I can get the magic seat, which is row 3. Just finished riding Magnum XL200. I rode it in the very back and the magic seat, row 3. First, I'll start with the magic seat because I did that first. That airtime is violent. So if you like extreme airtime pops, that seat is for you. However, I think the back row is a little bit more comfortable. Now, comfortable for an arrow because sometimes the transitions on this ride can be a little jarring, I will admit. But it is a still good ride for this park, but Steel Force is better in my opinion. So I'm walking towards the back of the park to do something interesting. So I'm here at the Town Hall Museum, which is unfortunately closed. That's kind of sad though, because this is where a lot of cool things are, including some scale replicas of both Mean Streak and Steel Vengeance, and what I was really here for, the Wilderness Run card. See, one of the kids coasters, Wilderness Run, has a height requirement that is under a certain limit. However, if you usually come here and say that you're a coaster enthusiast, you'll get a card saying that you're allowed to ride. So I'll have to figure out where I'm supposed to go to get that card. Otherwise, I'm missing that credit. But don't worry, there is another kids credit that I can get. Now today is a hot day. I think it's hitting 86, but it feels around high 90s. So a lot of people are hitting the water rides today. Now I'm not a water ride guy, but I could definitely stand on the bridge and get a little bit wet. So that's what I'm going to do. Another water ride I will not be experiencing is Thunder Canyon. Same name actually as the one in Dorney Park. And this is your typical rapids ride. A rooster or chicken, not sure which is which, but they have escaped the pen and are now on the field. Or they just keep them out like Disney does with cats. Welcome to the Barnyard, a giant petting zoo where you can meet all your favorite furry friends as well as other animals down that way. With some of the pens you can actually go inside. Hello guys, how are you doing? Are you? Ooh. Are you having a fun day at Cedar Point? Yeah, I know you live here. Oh, that guy's getting him. Ah, it's nice they have like a cool animal exhibit here. By far the highlight of this animal area are the camels. Hello, my camel friend. You want some?
Yes, it's not great.
There you go. Delicious. It seems that nobody wants to see you guys, but don't worry. I'm here to give you some attention. Welcome to Forbidden Frontier. This used to be Dinosaurs Alive, but now they transformed it into a kind of a mini ghost town area. Ooh, that was a lot of water. And it also provides some of the best views of Millennium Force, which you've probably seen throughout this whole video series by now. What I'm standing in now is actually the old station of Shoot the Rapids, which you actually go through to get to Forbidden Frontier. It's sad what happened to that ride, but it was having so many problems that better off be removed than stay here at the park. I'm probably not going to be riding Snake River Expedition this trip, but this is basically what the ride is, where you go around in a Jungle Cruise style boat with all these animatronics here. To be honest, I think you could see most of the scenery from the Snake River Expedition on Forbidden Frontier, so it could save you a little bit of time standing in line. There are actually some hammocks for people to sit on back here. It's not for rent, you could just sit on them whenever you want. And here's some of those great views of Millennium Force that I was talking about. You know, I could make a joke with this, but I think it writes itself. I'm gonna give this a try where you move back and forth on this raft. Looks fun? I'll give it a try. Note to self, if you ever do this pulling thing across the water, do not do it by yourself. Please have a friend with you because my arms hurt and I am so exhausted right now. Had a really good time inside Forbidden Frontier. I definitely think that if you have the time in your Cedar Point trip, you should definitely check it out. I think I'm gonna head to Valraven, as that is the last credit I need in this park. Time to ride my final coaster credit in this park that's not a kiddie coaster and gatekeeper. It is Valraven. Well, we're in a little bit of a predicament right now. I had to leave my the Valraven line because it started raining. And it's coming down pretty good. So don't know what I'm gonna do next. And I don't know whether or not I'm gonna get a ride on Valraven or not. Just have to wait and see. And this is what happens when there's a crowded day and a torrential downpour at Cedar Point. Everyone's running for the hills. I don't see what everyone's running for. I look absolutely fine. Since all the rides are shut down, I think it's time to eat at probably the best known restaurant in Cedar Point, Backbeat Q. It specializes in a lot of barbecue food, and I hear a lot of people like it. So I'm gonna give it a try and tell you how it tastes. here in Camp Snoopy to see if the kiddie coasters are open. Now, I don't think any of the rides are open, but even if they aren't, I want to see how this area looks compared to Dorney Park's kids area. I also just finished a meal at Back Beach Barbecue. It was good. I had the pulled pork, potato wedges, and they give you a corn muffin with that. I also had a regular drink, came out to about $19. And it was fine. The pulled pork was decent. So were the potato wedges. The corn muffin, though, was actually really good. I was really surprised with the quality of that. So I'm gonna head over to the kids coaster down here and see what that's all about. Ooh, they have a tilt-a-whirl that's open. I'm gonna have to give that a ride. That's a pretty good tilt-a-whirl they got here. Fun fact that a lot of you don't know about is I'm a big fan of tilt-a-whirls. They're one of my favorite amusement park rides. So whenever a park has one, I always like going on it. And this one was a really good one. And I like how it's hidden in the kids section. You kind of have to find it. And yeah, this was a good discovery that I wasn't expecting. But up here are the two kids coasters that are probably not open at the moment. Maybe they'll be open later, not sure. But that's Woodstock Express. It's the same model as Flight of the Hippogriff at the Universal Parks. And then this right here, past this really funny stage, is Wilderness Run, aka Junior Gemini. Fun fact, this was the first Intamin coaster. Yep. You see back there is Top Thrill Dragster. They started with this. But I'll keep roaming around, see, maybe there's a few other surprise rides that are open. I have good news. Some of the coasters are testing, including Valraven. I also saw one for Millennium Force, which is crazy because I feel like there's a lot of clouds back there. But I guess they feel like it's safe enough to run, so. I'm actually waiting up for my family now. But when I meet up with them, I'll probably go on Valraven with them. So stay tuned because I think the day's not over yet at Cedar Point. Okay, even though it just opened back up, we had to wait half an hour for Valraven. That was not a good ride. I did not like that at all. I think the restraints really took everything out of it. No airtime. I mean, it was raining, so the rain didn't help with the ride experience. But like, I don't know, I just wasn't a big fan of the elements. So yeah, Griffin is definitely better than this ride, and I don't plan on riding this again for a while. We're probably gonna get a little snack and head to Cedar Downs next though. This is one of my bucket list rides in this park for how unique it is. And I'll show you what exactly it is when we get closer to it. So this is Cedar Downs, a pretty rare type of ride that I can only think of being here and at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And it's kind of like a carousel, but you don't only move up and down, but you move forward and backward. I'm gonna just ride it and see how it is. Just got off Cedar Downs. That was really fun. I'm surprised more parks don't have this. Yeah. It was definitely an interesting experience sitting on the outside. When you move forward, it really felt like you were accelerating. But now to go somewhere else. Okay, so as you can notice, it's actually night now. And that was because we got a night ride on Maverick. Now the full intent was to do a night ride on Steel Vengeance, and the wait time on the app for Maverick was listed at half an hour. On the sign, it said an hour and a quarter, and we waited for nearly 2 hours for this. Crazy. For some reason, as we were about to go up the steps, they decided to add the 5th and 6th train. Not the best move, but I guess it was because it rained and they didn't think it was going to be crowded. So yeah, we waited a while for this, but the night ride was incredible. You cannot see anything, and especially in the tunnel, you don't know when it's going to suddenly turn. So that's going to be the end, probably, of my time here at Cedar Point. Thank you for following me along these past 2 days at Cedar Point, and look forward to the upcoming video from Hershey Park. If you liked this video, please make sure to give it a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later, Cedar Point, and I'll see you guys later.